There is the bike in this torrential downpour. I'll let you know if it stops working.
I'm absolutely soaked. This is the Fiido Titan, and I think you can tell why they called it a Titan. Look at it! But does the performance match the looks? Firstly, apologies to Fiido. They always seem to get the crappy weather. Also, I forgot my little microphone, so hopefully this doesn't sound too terrible. Anyway, yeah, this is the Fiido Titan, and I can see why it's called the Titan, because basically everything's massive. It's got massive disc brakes, 203 millimeters, that is huge. It's got obviously a massive frame. It's got a massive saddle, big rear rack with a wooden thing on it so you can put stuff on it. More of that coming in the future. If you want to see what this bike can do with accessories, don't forget to subscribe. It's got a massive gear set. It's got 9 gears there, indexed S-Ride gears. And obviously it's got massive 26-inch, 4-inch wide fat tires and a pretty big battery. The front light, pretty big. I wouldn't call it massive, but it's a decent size and it is quite bright. Backlight, by the way, is a bright light. It's a 250 watt motor, and right now I'm going along nicely at 15 to 16 miles per hour. It has got a torque sensor, but it works really well with the gears. As long as it detects that I'm pushing, it will give me pretty much all the power, because I don't really want to have to be putting effort in to just be going 15 to 16 miles per hour, and luckily I'm not really. The computer is nice and bold, nice and visible. Use these to go through sport, turbo and all that, but you can also use this up here, which is nice. The way these work is that basically as you go up, they just deliver more and more power, and you just have to put less and less effort in to get to 15, which I quite like, because if you're lazy, even though it's a torque sensor, shove it in Turbo Plus and you have to put barely any effort in to go 15.5. We've also got a throttle, but right now it's locked to kind of 6 kilometers walk mode, so it does get you going. It doesn't get you going really fast because it cuts out at 6 kilometers per hour. You know, they call this frame a drop frame. I'd say it's harder to get on this like as a drop frame than it would be to get on normally. I can still do it, but I think I'll just pretend it's a normal frame. Let's test the torque sensor, how instant it is. Yeah, it's instant. Detects the push and off we go. Here we are at the hill. They only say it's 55 Newton meters, which for something called the Titan. Let's go, 3, 2, 1, go. Doesn't seem amazing. It's not the mightiest of starts. Come on, Titan. You can't be called Titan and then struggle up a hill. Oh, we didn't even get to 15 then. I mean, I think we're going to get up, but it's not going to be like a Titanic speed. It might be a Titanic time. Oh man, that's kind of disappointing. That's really disappointed me, as people have been talking about this bike in the comments like it's the bike to end all bikes, and whilst I like it and it looks cool and it's got a lot of cool features, it could have done better up that hill, couldn't it? I mean, we're not up yet, but you know what I mean. And we're about to get up. 3, 2, go. Oh, cross the line or whatever. Right, so let's test these gears out. The 9-speed S-Ride gears. Now, unlike last one on the C11 Pro, it had I don't know if you can see my legs, that looks stupid. It had S-Ride shifters, but Shimano gears, and the worst part about it, I think, was the shifters. They've got the shifters still, which I still don't really like, because they're just not, they're not normal. Bottom lever to go down the gear, and then there's a little one there to go up the gears. I do wish it was like the Shimano ones where you use that finger instead of having to use thumb twice, because that one's quite annoying to get to. But I suppose you'll get used to it eventually. And then we've got the 9-speed S-Ride axial gears. They seem to work well though, like they're really well adjusted. I haven't got much experience with them obviously, but on the flat, it wants us to go pretty quick. I've got to be careful though, it is wet and I don't want to fall off. I just need to get back home. But actually it feels really good on the flat, especially with a bit of pedalling. And the torque sensor is very nice, but obviously when you get on the torque sensor, it accepts that extra little bit of help that you're going to be doing. Don't turn around please people. So now, without trying too hard, I'm going 28, feels pretty good. So with all the rain, I kind of forgot to talk about the suspension over the worst road in Wolverhampton. It doesn't have rear suspension, but it's got front suspension, which is lockable. But let's test that out on a bit of off-road with an R test. Well, it's all right. So anyway, if you are riding off-road, that's fine. I probably wouldn't take this bike off-road. The battery's locked in, so it should be fine. Well, I can imagine like massive bumps or jumps, like maybe gradually dislodging it over time. But with a big 26-inch 4-inch wide tyres that are very soft, squidgy, it does feel very nice. And the saddle is also very comfy. It's a Velo saddle again, like the C11 Pro, but this time it's much squidgier and it does feel a lot more comfy. I'm absolutely soaked. Now, one of the cool things about this bike is what you can add to it, and Fiido have asked if after this video they can send some accessories, and then I'll do another video about that. But I'll tell you now that you can add a thing to the back like a rack, and it allows you to hold 2 more batteries. So obviously you've got 3 times the range then if you swap out those batteries. But let's just have a quick look to the actual battery and see how easy that is to swap out. Now we come to the bit I don't really like about this bike, I've got to be honest. That's the battery, because to remove it, you don't just get the battery out, you've got to get this flap off. So because you don't need the keys to run the bike, if you do lock this up, people will be able to turn it on and kind of mess around with it if the battery's still in there. Now that, I only don't mind if the battery comes off like really quickly, so I can go boop, 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 take the battery with me, all sorted. But there's worse, for example, folding bikes where the battery's on the inside of the frame. But to get the battery out, we need to put the key in, turn it, then you can push a little thing up and get this flap off, which is annoying. It's got a little catch there, which you've got to push a button to move up and down. It's really awkward, like push it in and don't like it. So once you got rid of that, then the battery can come out by pushing a little thing down. It is 48 volts, 14.5 amp hours, which gives 697.45 watt hours. And I was reading that off there, usually I remember it. So to get the battery back in, you got to remember which way it came out. It's got a little handle, by the way. So handle flops down on the outside, push it down in the inside at the bottom, push that up. Now it's not fully locked. If you lock the key, then you can push it and it'll lock into place. And we've got a keyhole cover here, which is quite nice. And we've got a charge hole cover down here, which is also quite nice, especially when it's tipping it down. And then we need this. And because it's locked, it will go in. So you put the bottom in, put that in, and then push that button, fluck it up. Fluck it up? What's that mean? But it's really loose. Like, it's okay, it'll stay. But if I wanted to, I could pull this off easily and then get to the battery. Also, when you do decide to unlock it, a weird thing happens. So if I do that, unlock it now, I can actually just slide it off, which is very weird indeed. Why don't you just do what other people are doing, just use a battery that fits properly? If anyone was thinking this is a mid-drive motor, this bit here just contains the controller and other gubbins. The motor is in there. It is a rear hub drive, 250 watts.
It's a Titanic box. That's what it's like in the box. These are cool. Stops it wobbling.
How do you like my new helmet?
Styrofoam night.
Yeah.
Handlebars have got a nice little target so you can see that they're central. I like that. A big accessories kit. And in there is an instruction manual, tools, more tools, keys, brake pads. And just like the good biscuits, there's another layer. And on that layer there's the light, axle, pedals, charger, bell, piece of plastic, and the battery. Pedals on, front light on, get the front mudguard on. Here's the front wheel, and when you put it on, one side will have a bit more space than the other. So I think on this side we have a kind of a spacer nut, so you can arrange that so that both sides are about the same length. Boop! Ta-da! First try. You should probably do this before the light's on, but all these plug in under there. And the 3 amp charger is charging the 14.5 amp hour battery, which should take between 4 and 5 hours.
It does feel nice though. Like, it did get up the hill, and although it was a bit disappointing, I'm kind of comparing it to way powerful bikes, and I'm judging it by its name, the Titan. But I suppose that doesn't have to mean fast. Like, Godzilla's not known for being fast. He's just strong. But then this could be stronger up the hill. But what it is strong in is how much it can actually carry. So let's check out how heavy it is and what it can carry. The bike is 37.8 kilograms, so it is very heavy. You would not want to be lugging this around. It is just for riding where you want to get to, and then riding back, and then storing somewhere that you can get it to quite easily. Max capacity is a huge 200 kilograms, and part of that is because this rear rack is designed to carry heavy loads. Take the saddle to its lowest point, and even though it's a big bike, you don't have to be that big to actually ride it. I'm 5'9", inside legs probably about 31-ish. But if you've got to be at least like that, I reckon you'd be okay if you're about 5'4" on this. Now that does seem pretty high. Whoa, whoa, nowhere near the floor when I'm on it. Woo! So, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", pretty tall. In the wet, excellent, and you'd expect it because, and that stand's massive. They are 203mm 4-piston hydraulic disc brake, so in terms of safety, does the business. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit steps to the wet, and I was kind of pushing. I wasn't pulling hard, but then you don't have to because it's hydraulic. I was kind of a bit worried because when it is wet, you shouldn't really just ram your brakes on if you don't have to. But excellent performance. Right, let's do a 0 to 15. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. As expected, not exactly punching. 11, 12, 13, 14, stop. Okay. It's not going to be amazing, but it's not going to be the worst. Hopefully. So throttle only, me 100 kilogram rider, it's gave me about 23, but then with all them gears, it is fairly easy to push it above that without too much effort. So without too much effort, I can kind of go 25, although it says 24. Let's have a look at the little bits on the bike. So like I said, we've got a bell, which isn't the best. Maybe I screwed up. There we go, that's good better. But we have also got a buzzer. But that's not very... Oh shit. Why am I not throttling? Oh, I've just turned the power down. Right, the... Bloody hell. That was annoying. Could have got killed then. Right, so I accidentally pressed the pedal assist level when I pressed the bell. Hand grips were quite comfortable, although somehow, I don't know if anyone else owns this, let us know in the comments, this always wants to grab on my t-shirt and make me pull the bike over. It's very, very sticky, but they're quite comfy, even though there's no palm rests. Pedals, metal, solid, massive chunky stand, black plastic mud guards, front and rear, even though that's the front. Right, now might be a good time to jump into the future and check out what kind of range I did get. Right, we've done just under 15 miles in the pouring rain. Stop now, but we've hit 2 bars. I reckon it's going to peter out and die around 20 miles, which to be honest sounds about right. I do reckon you'll get 40 miles in about Turbo Plus, but however that is if the bike is still locked down, and sitting at 15.5 miles per hour, it's barely going to use any power anyway, so it's just that extra little bit of power getting you to 15.5 and then keeping you there. Whereas this, if you do unlock it, it's constantly stressing out the battery, trying to keep you going as fast as it possibly can push you, and it does kill the battery. So I always think unlocked, 20 miles is a decent range, but locked, I have no doubt that it could easily get 40, 50, 60, 70, depending on the pedal assist. That is all 85 kilogram rider as well. I'm 100. Let's sum up some negatives then. So first of all, I don't know if this is a negative, but it's not as powerful as I thought it would be, that's all. But it is still pretty powerful. But I think they've just maybe could have chosen a, I don't know, a lesser name, like Demi Titan or something, or Mothra. The wires at the front, they are a big mess. They need a lot of tidying up. You could tidy it up yourself. There's that wire hitting the light as you try and turn it, very annoying. For such a big bike, it would have been nice to have some rear suspension, and I'm still not a fan of these shifters. But the worst bit is probably the battery thing. That's just weird. I suppose it adds an extra level of waterproofing or resisting, but it's very, very fiddly. But in terms of plus points, there's so many. It looks brilliant. Oh, it is a bit heavy, I suppose, but if that's the kind of thing you want, then that's okay. It is very comfy. It can get a decent speed up, but obviously if you are using this in the UK, then you're not really meant to be going too fast anyway. But it's just nice to be able to, isn't it? There's a lot to like about this bike. I do like that Fiido give you that choice with how you want to use your own bike. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it does look like an absolute monstrous beast, and you can get some damn good speeds on it. So well done, Fiido. And if you are interested in this Fiido Titan, then do check out the link in the description. If you do, it will help this channel a lot. It'll take you to where you would go anyway if you just Googled them, but it just lets Fiido know that we sent you, and it gives us a bit of commission, so I appreciate that. And don't forget, we've also got discount codes, so that price, 1,500 or something, which ain't a bad price, can get even lower. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down, but tell us in the comments how we can improve. And ride safe.